Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you our new plugin which we implemented with the latest release of Motion.page. You may have seen it already, and that is the Flip plugin. Now, there's a lot to cover in future videos, but in this video, we're just going to cover the Flip plugin. So I'm going to show you how Flip basically works within Motion.page, and I'm going to show you a couple examples using Stagger. We will also add some animations to the elements which are being flipped. And finally, I will do a quick user requested tutorial at the end. So let's get right into it. Now, just in order to save a little bit of time, what I've done here is just created a quick setup. I'll just run through it quickly with you. So we have a section here, which is basically 75 viewport height. This just gives us some scrolling distance. Here we have an element with a background, and I've given this a class of Flip Origin, okay? And then below it, you can see here, just a little bit smaller and highlighted in a very subtle green, we have our Flip target. So origin and target, this is basically how Flip works. And then below that, we just have a duplicate of our first section just to give us a little bit more scrolling distance. So essentially Flip, we can transform an element from its original position to a target position, and this uses JavaScript in the background. This is GSAP obviously, but it allows for very smooth transitions. Okay, so this obviously is a very basic example, but let me show you in Motion.page how we can get this working. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here, create a new timeline. I'm just going to call this Flip Example. Now I want this to be on trigger, so I'm going to choose my trigger here to be scroll trigger. Lock to scroll bar, I'm going to keep this quite minimal, so 0.3. I don't need to pin anything in this case. And now what I'm going to do is I want to target my origin elements, my original element. So let's use our scanner here, and I can see my class I added here, Flip Origin. So I'm going to target this one because this element is the main element that is going to change from its original position to a target position. So we can add any properties to this as we like. Now, before I continue, I'm just going to change this to top also, and I'm just going to play around with the values here. So I want this to start when this element reaches around 50% of the viewport height. So I'm going to change this to 50%. And then I want it to finish around here. Actually, I think that's already a good value. All right, so the Flip plugin is located down here under functional. Remember, this is our original starting position, so this will be on the from. So on the from, I'll select Flip, and then here I want to target the original element, which is this one. So Flip Origin. And then obviously we want to now choose our target, which will be 2. We want to flip this to the target. So we'll go back to Flip, and now we'll select the target, which is right here, Flip Target. So now you can already see this is going to the target element. Now, if I go back to bricks here and just change the color of this so it's a little bit more apparent. So let's change it to a more stronger green like this. All right, we'll refresh this page. So now you can see it is being flipped to the target. Now, whatever this element looks like, you can see it has a smaller scale. So it's going to scale to its target size. All right, now let's give this target some border radius, for example. So now we have it as a full circle. I'll save this. In Motion.page, we'll refresh. So we've made the target a circle, as you can see. And now the nice thing about Flip is we can actually add an animation to this. So on our origin, we want it to go from a square to a circle. So all we need to do is just add the border radius here as well. 100%. Okay, so now you can see it's going to get that same effect. All right, we can do many things. We can even change the color if we want. So let's change it to a blue color. You can see that's happening like that. We could even rotate it if we like. So now it's rotating into blue. And the nice thing about Flip, obviously, the target element could always be hidden. So typically we would just hide this, make it invisible. So in this case, I'll just give it a transparent background so that you cannot see it. All right, so now it is transforming like so. So let's step this up a little bit. So back to bricks. All right, so what I've done here now is I've added 4 origin elements and 4 target elements. So what we can do now is just swap these around a little bit so the numbers are random, like so. And I've also given these unique classes, as you can see, so I will just need to fix this a little bit. All right, so as you can see, we have flip origin 2, 1, 4, and 3. So these are all unique, and same here as well, flip target 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are in order, so the targets are in order. And as you can probably imagine, what we're going to do is on scroll, we're going to make the origin elements become in order. So let me save this. We'll go back to Motion page. So now all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to edit this, and we'll do origin 1. So you can see it's highlighted there. And then in the flip, we're going to do from, we'll do origin 1, and we want to flip this to the target number 1. I'm going to get rid of this background color and the rotation, flip target 1. So there you can see it's going to number 1. So let's do some more animation nodes for each of those. All right, so I've gone ahead and added all of those nodes, and for each one I've made them unique. So origin 4, we are flipping from the origin 4 to the target 4, and the same with each node here, element, sorry. And now as you can see, we get this effect. We can stagger them manually if we like, so it's kind of like this, but you get the idea. So I hope this example gets your imagination juices flowing. Now I will just show you one more quick example here using Stagger. So instead of using unique classes, I'll just go ahead and delete these. Now each one of these has the same class, so I'll just target that one. All right, and in bricks, what I'll do is I'll delete all of these except one. All right, so now I'm going to stagger all of these into one single target, and I'll just refresh this here. All right, so we're already targeting the proper classes here, as you can see, but let's put them all into target number 1. So I'm just going to change this to 1. All right, so I do want to stagger these a little bit, so make sure we're on 2. And what we can do is come to stagger. Let's do amount. We'll do something quite quick, 0.2 seconds. And now as you can see, they all stagger to that single target element. All right, so now I will show you very quickly a user requested tutorial. So for this, I'm going to start a blank page and also a blank timeline. All right, so I've just gone ahead and created a new page here called Flip 0. I'm going to open this with bricks, and I'll just talk you through this setup very quickly. So what I'm going to do first is make our hero section 100 viewport height. I also want this container to be 100%. And actually, I'm going to add a class to this because I do want to target this in Motion page. Hero flip. And on the class, we'll do 100%. We'll also do width 100%. And then I just need to make sure that my section has no padding, so it spans the whole width and height. And just for now, on my hero flip, what I'm going to do is give it a background. Then underneath that, let's add another section. Okay. Let's give this some height. So let's just go here, 75 viewport height, something like that. And then what I'm going to do is make this a grid, give it some space, and we'll do 2 columns. All right. In here, we'll have 2 blocks. Now this block is going to be my target. Okay, so I'm going to do hero flip target. Like that. And then in this box, I'm going to have some text. Heading, we'll do header 2. I'm just going to copy some dummy text here. Maybe that's a little bit too long. So something like that is fine. All right, so that's basically going to be my setup for my user requested tutorial here. And I will show you what the user wanted right now in Motion page. All right, so let's create a new timeline here. We'll call this one Flip Hero Example. I will load that new page here. So this is going to be on scroll trigger, lock to scroll bar. I want this to be quite minimal. Now I want this to start transitioning when the bottom of this hero is at the bottom of the screen. So basically instantly as soon as I start scrolling. So we'll do bottom is 100%. And then when the hero section reaches around, I guess 50%, 40%, something like that, we want it to stop. So I'm going to target my hero section, hero flip. And then once again, we'll go down to flip and we'll select the origin, which is the hero section itself. So once again, hero flip. And then I want it to transition to this element here. If you remember, we gave it a target class. So let's go to 2, flip, and we'll target that class right here. So as you can see, when we scroll down, the hero section is going into this target element, which is quite a nice effect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a video. I'll just save this for now. So back in Bricks, what I'm going to do is target this container, and for the background, I'm going to give it a background video link. Save that. So as you can see, now we have this video. We'll refresh this. And as I scroll down now, the video itself goes to this section. What you've noticed is it gets a little bit squashed when it goes down here because the aspect ratio obviously is not correct. So what we can do is give it a 16:9 ratio, same as the video. So 16:9, so now this is going to be the same aspect ratio. And now we can take one more look at this. It will maintain its aspect ratio because we just changed it in the target element. So that was essentially what our customer was going for, and I hope that is helpful. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Flip plugin and how you can use it with Motion.page. It opens the doors for a lot of possibilities here, and yeah, if you have any questions, please do let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much.